Senator Blumenthal, Representative Garcia, and to all my colleagues here for participating, and especially to all of the witnesses who are here. My heart goes out to you for what you have been through, but despite it all, you're trying to channel some of that experience and a lot of that anger, that righteous anger, towards raising awareness. The whole country needs to better understand what's really going on out there. I've had my own experience this year, and one of the things that I hope for is that these tough and trying experiences for ourselves, for our families, for everybody around us, can somehow do good by raising awareness for people who weren't paying attention, for people who are paying attention but maybe not enough to care, to finally care about what's going on, because it's morally wrong in addition to being unlawful and unconstitutional. So I appreciate your willingness and your courage to be here and to share your stories. I know there's a good number of Californians on the panel, so thank you for the opportunity to be your voice here in the Senate. As I've shared with all my colleagues, it started in California, but we knew then that Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area was just a test case for the administration. They learned some lessons there and then tried to be more aggressive and more cruel, as we've seen over the months here in Washington, D.C., and Chicago, and Portland, North Carolina, and New Orleans, and elsewhere. And it's going to continue until we hold this lawless administration accountable, because what they're doing isn't just trying to stoke fear for undocumented immigrants, but we've seen the proof. It's lawful immigrants to, and even United States citizens, including veterans. First of all, I want to acknowledge I was trying to follow your opening statements remotely. I was simultaneously in a Judiciary Subcommittee hearing, but we've read the testimony you submitted in writing. I don't want to be repetitive of the questions that some of my colleagues have already asked. They've already asked you to share more about what happened to you or how it's made you feel, how it's impacted your life. So let me actually give you all the microphone. You're already addressing questions from House members and from senators. If you had the administration up here, if you had Donald Trump, if you had the Secretary of Homeland Security, if you had other officials from the Trump administration up here, what would you tell them? And maybe we can start with Mr. Retes and go down the line.
Oh, God. What would I tell them? I would tell them, that's a good question. I would tell them, is this what they want? I would ask them if this is what they wanted, if this was their goal. Are we just accidents that just happened and you don't really care for? Was this your goal to begin with? And so I guess I would have more questions than I would say anything else.
Thank you. Ms. Figueroa?
Well, I would tell them that I refuse ICE Nazis to rewrite my story, and I refuse to let my son grow up in a country where masked federal agents can assault women in broad daylight. There has to be accountability and transparency and change.
Thank you. Mr. Chavarria?
I would say that we've seen this before. We see it right through you. We've seen leaders dehumanize entire communities, entire races, entire peoples. And we know why you dehumanize us. And I will say, we will come out of this and we will come out of it stronger, and the losers will be the people who are doing the dehumanizing. And I will say shame on you, because injustice is a circle and it will reach your children. It will reach your families. It will reach your communities. When you violate the rights of the least powerful, you're sowing injustice for yourself in the future.
Ms. Velez?
I would ask them that are we great? Because I don't think we are. And stop using immigrants as your scapegoat for everything, for all the problems that are happening, because it's not us, it's not the immigrants. Yeah.
Mr. Ramirez?
I would tell them that they should be ashamed of themselves. If I don't want to raise my kids in America where they have to be careful, just by being their skin color. They should be ashamed. And is this the making America great again?
Mr. Melnick, I know you come to this conversation from a different perspective, given your role and expertise. Let me ask you a different question. This will be my final. The argument from the administration is that they're going after the worst of the worst. We see in reality that that's far from the case. The fear and intimidation they've stoked in so many communities across the country is clear in my mind. Has this mass deportation agenda made any community or a country safer?
There's no evidence that this is making us more safe. In fact, it's the other way around. I've testified in front of Congress on this issue before. By diverting resources away from child exploitation, by turning ICE Homeland Security investigations into just one other arm of ICE's enforcement and removal operations, they are making us less safe. They are taking counterterrorism operatives and telling them to go out on the street and arrest migrants. They're taking people whose job it is to investigate pedophiles preying on children and telling those officers to go round up dishwashers instead. And that doesn't make us safer.
Thank you all again very much.